Hello, my name is Seb and welcome to Jump Inside Top 10s. Today we're checking out the top 10 coaster games to find out what the best coaster experience is in a video game. However, this video is all opinionated, so if you feel that you either disagree or feel like the order I'm showing these games off is wrong, then feel free to reorder them in the comments below. Also, just a note, I'm only selecting one game from every franchise, so this, for those who are wondering, won't turn into an order list of Roller Coaster Tycoon games. And I'll also be putting a logo of Frontier in the bottom left hand corner for every game Frontier have had their hand in making. See if you can guess how many games they have developed. Okay, is everyone ready? Let's get on with the video. So yes, this is exactly where we're starting out at number 10. This game is called Bully. It's a game made and created by Rockstar. In this game, you take control of the character Jimmy Hopkins, a schoolboy studying at Bulworth Academy. But you also get to explore outside of Bulworth in future chapters of the game. And in one of those chapters, you get to experience a fun fair with rides, and yes, of course, it also has a roller coaster. The roller coaster is called the Big Canyon Railway, and you ride it in cinematic view with no camera options. I mean, there are parts of this ride that are first person, but the coaster itself, it doesn't look all amazing, neither do the tracks, but it is an old game, so you have to give it credit for trying. But with very little, and I say little style, and with no camera options, I'm placing this at number 10. Personally, I think Jimmy says it better when he says,
I don't think I've ever had this much fun, ever.
Oh look, we're at number 9 already? Oh, it's a logo. What is this logo? What could this logo possibly be? Oh, it's Frontier. It's our first Frontier game on the list. And look what we're playing. We're playing Thrillville off the rails. Oh yeah, it even comes with its own theme song. Catchy, isn't it? But I am going to struggle to talk about this game for one very simple.
Now let's talk about roller coasters.
Could you please be quiet? I was in the middle of talking.
Welcome to the basic.
Okay, this guy probably doesn't talk for the entirety of the game, but for the tutorial, he gets really annoying. He overly explains stuff. I mean, like, there are some things that should be just, like, simple and should be explained very quickly and very short. But this is like one of those games where it's like he says something and then you press yes that you've understood it to go to the next part.
Here, I built a lift hill for you. While we're up here, let's see, you can switch the camera because you are currently in the far view. This lets you, the near view is useful when building coasters in enclosed spaces. Or to give you an eye, return to the far view, now you're back in far, as well as move the right stick.
If there was an easier tutorial, this might get a higher place on the list, but yeah, it was just annoying. However, the whole game isn't just him. The actual coaster building is quite interestingly fun and something that you might be very familiar with if you're used to Frontier's Roller Coaster Tycoon game. There is some really nice coaster building in this game, as you can see, as I'm building it right now. Apart from that, after you've built and you've created your ride, you can even ride on the coaster that you've built. I'm not a big fan of the headlock camera menu icon, but that's not what this is about. This is about the coaster experience. And to be fair, I like the fact you can build a coaster. I like the fact you can ride a coaster. Is there limitations because it's an old game? Yeah, I think they are. That's why I'm not putting it at the top with my more recommended games. But at its current standpoint, I think at the time that this came out, I think this was a very good coaster building game. It also had this fun little feature on this particular coaster that I rid on, as you'll understand, where the coaster track ended and I was parachuted to the landing zone, which was interesting. Overall, it's not that bad, but there are better games on the list, so without no further ado, let's keep moving. Now, originally, this also competed for 9th place, but I'm giving it 8th instead. I'll explain why as we experience the coaster. See, this coaster, first off, doesn't look that flattering, but if you see the controls just in the top left-hand corner, you can press right or A to skip the ride, so you don't really have any controls to change camera options. It's just stuck in this kind of like first person mode, and it's terrible. This is absolutely terrible. But it gets a little bit of a higher place if we switch to the online version of the game. And I waited till night time to show you all the colourful lights that this thing has. That's one of the reasons why it gets higher in its placement. The actual coaster itself looks so much better. These seats look a lot better and amazing. I like the style of the seats. They're not boring. And if we experience the coaster and we actually go forward, we have camera modes. There's cinematic camera options. There's raise hands, lower hands, change view. You got all of that. That's lovely. We get to experience this coaster in full. And it's awesome. And I love it. And you get to choose what seat you want to sit on. Do you want to sit on the front seat, the back seat? You get to watch your character ride it. There's lovely loads of lights everywhere. You're riding it at night time. What could you ask for? It is a lovely little experience. But I will mention this. There's only one coaster in this game, which is why it gets so low on my list, which is why it gets 8th place. As much as I love it and all the colourful lights and the experience, there's only one of them. There's just the one coaster in this entirety of the game, and it's a very small coaster. It's not like it goes upside down or anything. So, yeah, it's a great experience. It's a good job at making it. However, the game is not a roller coaster game, and it is a very small portion of this game. So they did a good job for what it is, but again, there's only one tiny little experience of coaster riding in Grand Theft Auto 5/online, and yeah, I think if Grand Theft Auto made a coaster game where there were small coasters into it, maybe if they built like a theme park into a Grand Theft Auto game, I think it might be interesting, but for what this is, I think it's okay. We'll leave it at that. It gets 8th place on our list. There's only one coaster, but it's a good coaster. It's a good coaster. Anyway, we'll move on to the next game. And generally, I wondered how many people who thought this would actually, be on the list. This is Fallout 4. And just like in Grand Theft Auto, there is only one roller coaster. It is also only on an add-on, so you have to purchase the Nuka World add-on for this game to experience this roller coaster. But it's themed and it's longer, so it gets a slightly higher place than the Grand Theft Auto one. Let me take you for a ride. Now, as you get inside it, there is some voices and some audio playing in the background. However, it is very low, so you have to pick up on it. They are telling a bit of a story as this proceeds, and it's kind of like a blast-off thing. You're kind of like set in space, so this whole thing is like a space-themed coaster. And the creativity of this coaster is amazing. They even fire lasers at you when you go around certain corners, so it looks like you're actually being shot by a spaceship. It's awesome. You know what, I'm not going to show you the whole thing because generally this is something that you should experience for yourself. I think this is amazing, and yeah, and if you have the add-on pack and you haven't played it, then maybe consider having a go yourself if you're into roller coasters. Overall, I just think this is an amazing roller coaster. It's a very small portion of the game. It's very tiny if you know the world of Fallout. So yeah, I know how that can possibly be missed, but yeah, overall it's a roller coaster inside Fallout. I think that's just an amazing idea. And it also works. It's not like a broken one, it actually works. So that's cool. Anyway, that's all I need to say about that. It's 7th place on our list. We'll move on to the next game. Ooh, what's this? Oh, it's another Frontier game. Oh, hello, Frontier. Welcome back. You didn't leave us for good, did you? This is called Scream Ride. It's a roller coaster game, but not the way you think it. See, you have controls while riding the roller coaster. These are some test dummies for I don't know what reason. but you have to press that speed up button and you have to ride this coaster, and you've got to hit all the buttons as they appear. Yes, that's correct. This is a game where you're not only riding, but you're also controlling the speed and pretty much everything on the coaster itself. Now, some people don't like this game. Some even hate it. Me, however, well...
Contiguous explosions. Extensive damage.
Oh,
noted.
Oh, no. Oh, it's going down. Oh, explosions. Oh, dear. Oh, that's a lot of buildings collapsing. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. I don't think they survived it, to be fair with you. So, yes, basically, this is a track game where you control a roller coaster and get from A to B, and you've got to try not to fall off without breaking the city. However, I love this game for the complete opposite reason, and that is destruction. And this is one of those destruction things. This isn't a roller coaster. This is one of those things where you actually have to cause as much destruction as possible. It's actually a game mode where you have to hit this ball with passengers inside into a building. That is a game mode on this game. Now, do I think that this is a good roller coaster game? Overall, I think it's not a bad concept to a roller coaster game. I think that if highly improved, could be a decent game. However, with very little creativity in building and creating roller coasters, and only just riding around and driving, and just controlling the speed, I can see how this could get boring very quickly. But again, like I said, it's a very good concept for what something could be. If someone highly improved this, took the concept and made it a lot better, I don't think it's a completely lost cause, but I don't see anyone doing that anytime soon. We'll move on to number 5. Now we get to the more interesting games, and we'll start with Park Beyond. Now, Park Beyond isn't the worst coaster experience in the world. Actually, it's quite good, to be fair. It was quite a struggle to decide what I want to do with the top 5. In fact, they've got loads of presets that you can actually build coasters in. There's a ghost coaster that you can actually see what's going to happen to the ride before it actually does what it's designed and meant to do. I love the mouse drag and move feature that you can actually use to build this coaster with. So if you want to make a new track piece, you move the mouse and the track follows where the mouse goes. So you've got kind of this interesting build style. And it's also, it's got some really cool coaster designs. You can ride the ride. It's awesome. The game, and I will say, the game has taken great care over making its game to make it function and play out the way it does. Do I think this takes number 1 slot? No. My number 1 slotted game is there for a reason. But I will mention, I think that this game is absolutely incredible. In fact, in the opener of the tutorial of this game, it allows you to build a coaster through the city as they teach you how to build a coaster. And it's just really awesome that they encourage you to build it and just give you a bit of a rundown of how these things are built. And it's quite a short tutorial, and you know, I absolutely love it. It even has all these awesome features like these cannons that your coaster has to go through. You get to ride your coasters, especially in this opener where it's just introducing you to how things are built. It's just really nice to see that it doesn't just teach you, it also allows you to ride it and just enjoy the experience of what you're learning. Time for the next game, and it's another Frontier game. It's Frontier Foundry with Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. And this roller coaster building is actually quite cool, actually, to be honest with you. This is the one we're all used to. You build like a beginning thing where you start off from, and then you can spin it, and you've got all these little options in the bottom left-hand corner here where you might have recognized before from the game Thrillville. What I love about these upcoming games right now is the amount of roller coaster options that they have. So you've got like different styles of roller coasters. This one is just a very simple coaster right now, but yeah, I just like the building of this, and you know, there's a lot of stuff you can do with this. It's really creative. It's very much enjoyable. You can go up, down, do swirls like I'm doing, but the roller coaster has to get from A to B. Again, if it can't climb or it doesn't have the momentum, it won't actually do it, which is why you have to spend time on going, right, what do I need to make stuff happen? Do I need to build certain things to make stuff happen? And when you've completed your masterpiece, you can then ride your masterpiece by sitting on the ride, choosing what chair you want, and then as soon as the ride's ready to go, you can ride it. Parkitect was very interesting for me, and this is, by the way, number 3. This is part of the big 3 on our list, because I really found this game particularly entertaining. This was a really nice coaster build game. Yes, it does have quite a few different styles of roller coasters that you can build in this game. So yes, overall, it's got nice graphics. It's a really nice build. It feels very squarey, so you do get that feeling of it feels a bit like Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. Some of the controls are like Roller Coaster Tycoon 3, all the way to the point that you might also recognize them from the game Thrillville as well. But personally, I just like the simplicity of this, just the things that you could do. I like the fact that that ghost train was going at the same time I was building it, so I could see if the stuff I was doing was actually working. I found that beautiful, and that is a must-need in most coaster games. Personally, this was a very close split between this game and Roller Coaster Tycoon 3. I think this wins only slightly just on graphics for me and the comfortability for me, but yeah, overall, both this and Roller Coaster Tycoon 3 are very much nice games. Now, if anything, this game generally does have a nice feel to this game, but there is one slight issue to this game that I only have a slight problem with. And that is when you click on the camera button, which is right here on the right, and it says follow. No, you can't go in first person on this game, but you can only follow what the characters are doing on the ride. Now, overall, it isn't a bad game. I actually really like this. I think this is a wonderful piece of art. But the issue that I have with this is that it doesn't have a first-person mode. Yes, that is right. You can create a ride, but from what my understanding and for what I've seen, I did not see a first-person option whatsoever. So I'm pretty sure it doesn't have one. Now, I'm fully aware there might be a mod for it, but at base game value, it didn't have it. So I was a little bit upset on what this game actually offered. But yes, there you go right there. That's the game. And we'll move on to number 2, but just, you know, just be aware, I don't think that this has a first-person mode. I've only seen a follow button right now. So, no, as far as I'm aware, this doesn't have a first-person mode. Now, I don't need to tell you that this is also a Frontier game. This is very much well known as the Frontier game. This is Planet Coaster. And look how many coasters that it has inside this game. And just look how detailed these rides are. They look absolutely beautiful. There's a lot of mechanics in this that just make this feel really nice and real. I absolutely love this. Now, I'm not going to say or explain exactly how all this stuff works. I mean, if you did this for real, you'd take a lot more time over this. But there's fear, excitement, nausea on the right over there that tell you how guests are reacting to your rides. You've got to keep those in the correct places. You build your ride how you want it. You have to test out your ride before you open it up to make sure the ride can actually run. And yeah, this is basically just a really nice coaster building game. In fact, this is probably one of my top favorite coaster experiences. This is just a beautiful game. as a whole, it's wonderful. Absolutely love this game. It's cool. I love it. It's wonderful, and it's even got things like autocomplete, like in some other games. But this one's got it and done it really well. Like it will search things and tries to connect to where the start was and choose the best route around it. It's really good at doing that. And whether you're testing or you've opened it up for real, you can also select ride cam and choose different camera sets that you want to do as you experience the ride yourself. And it looks even as beautiful inside first person mode. I don't have any complaints with this game. And it rightfully deserves the place that it's at. This is Planet Coaster, and it's amazing. I love it. And now for the finale, the #1 game, the game right at the top, the best coaster experience you can have in a video game is... Is everybody ready? It's No Limits, and just in case you're wondering, the game is basically just roller coasters. Now that's all it is, roller coasters. You controlling roller coasters in first person mode, or you riding on the roller coasters in first person mode. In fact, this feels so real. This feels like I'm actually riding on one. I've ridden on roller coasters before, and this right here, the sound, the feel, the look, this feels like a roller coaster. And you know what? In my head, it is. This feels like it's real life, and I'm actually riding on a roller coaster, and I'm just about to go over the edge here, and it's all ready for me to feel the drop. Feel that. Oh, look at that. Oh, it's beautiful. Oh, that felt real, and the whole experience of this just feels real. The speed is correct. The motion of this ride is spot on. This is a roller coaster experience. And also, you can press the buttons. Yes, you can press the ride buttons and experience how it is to make coasters go forward, and just to experience what all these buttons actually do. And look, that coaster's going upwards because I pressed a button to make it go upwards. And there's a button to make the train thing go to the side. I really hope that doesn't fall off. No, it doesn't fall off. That's a good thing. Look, there's a coaster garage that you can park the coasters into. That's always quite a nice feature as well. And I have no idea what I'm doing with all these buttons, but yeah, you get to press them. It's a good experience. But also, the best thing about this game is that it has roller coasters that I have ridden on in real life. This is called the Smiler. In case you're unaware of it, it's a roller coaster at Alton Towers in the UK, and basically, I've been on this ride. I've sat on one of these seats in real life and have ridden this ride on its circuit, and it's cool how spot on this actually is and what it looks like. This is identical to the one in real life for inch. Someone's taken their time to put this in a video game and made the experience the exact same. This is pretty close, if not spot on, to what the actual ride felt like. However, again, the building mechanics in this game, I have no idea. I have no idea how they work. I looked at like some of the building stuff, and I have no idea how it all works. But from just riding the roller coasters to controlling them, I think this game is beautiful. It's a very unique game. I absolutely love it. I know there's a whole workshop of shared content on this game, but yeah, I've only witnessed a very small portion of this. So yeah, if roller coaster riding is what you want, this could be the game for you. If you're looking for that experience of sitting on a roller coaster, riding all that kind of stuff, brilliant, spot on, definitely the game. If you're more interested in building a roller coaster, then I think Planet Coaster comes in at a very second on my list, but I think when it comes to building, it's the top of the building games, so I think Planet Coaster could also be an excellent game. However, that's the list right there. Tell me what your thoughts are in the comments down below. Do you agree? Do you disagree with the list? Tell me now, and I will see you guys on another Jump Inside video. Thanks for watching, and goodbye, everybody.